Hello, welcome back to Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Today we're going to be playing the third scenario of the Tamerlane campaign, Harbinger of Destruction.
The blasts of wind intensified, snuffing out some of the torches within the hall. Servants bustled about, tending to the meat roasting over the fire. The scent of cooked birds, game and mutton filled the air. This was the first time that Tamerlane's forces had ventured into Europe. The winters were harsh, and Tokhtamysh surely hoped that the biting cold and far-flung supply lines would prove too much for the wily tactician. The armies of the Golden Horde burned crops and took all they could carry as they retreated. Tokhtamysh knew that Tamerlane would show no mercy. Terrifying reports reached his ears of torched villages and mountains formed from the bones of the slain. Wherever Tamerlane went, it seemed that flock of carrion birds were never far behind. Entire towns surrendered upon hearing of the brutal destruction of one of their neighbors. Tokhtamysh had no choice but to engage the rampaging forces of his enemy. The armies met near the banks of the Kondarcha River sometime during the early weeks of the summer. Crows and vultures circled above the field, an ominous foreshadowing of the carnage to come.
So like many Age of Empires 2 scenarios, this is going to begin with a big battle, after which we will find out the actual objectives of the scenario. Effectively, it's going to revolve around destroying two of Tokhtamysh's cities. The hints also give some things away. For example, we have a population limit of 150. That's pretty low, but we'll see what we can do. We can't farm, and we can't build docks. We need to take on the Grey player, potentially, if we want to gain some kind of secrets to do with siege. Don't really know what that's referring to. If I had to guess, I'd say probably trebuchets or something like that. Our enemies rely on supply stores scattered around the map, so if we take out their trade workshops, we can get ourselves a few extra supplies, which I think is mostly in the form of food, since we can't get it from farms or anything like that. And there's also a second Timurid army coming from the south. And here are the scout reports if you'd like to pause the video and give it a read. The main things to know are that we're pretty near to the Grey base. There are some Golden Horde camps, I guess you could call them, to the north and west of the map. Actually to the east and west of the map, and then there are some Volga Bulgars who will come and join us. I think it's Bulgars? Not really sure. They will come and join us if we send a scout to them and then send them 1,000 wood or something like that. But first we have to deal with the fight, and we have to make sure we win the fight, so let's have a go. I'm going to pull all these back from the start and just gather my units into one big force. To be a little bit careful here, because some units are going to come in from the east, and our villagers are admittedly looking pretty vulnerable. Not sure if I should actually be engaging them in the fight, perhaps. Obviously we are going to win the fight pretty handily, but yeah, that's not a good idea. That's a really terrible idea. I'm going to lose one villager there. Okay, I'm going to need to send my units over to reinforce. Let's move these away, and let's try and rescue our villagers. Focus these down. So we still got 35 left, so it's not too bad. We're going to go down to 34 in a second. So they've actually got Kipchaks. Interesting. Got 150 gold already from our Keshiks. Okay, down to 32, that's okay. So we do start off with a fairly decent amount of resource. We're going to drop a town center right here next to the gold mines.
Underestimated the power of Tamerlane's army.
Perhaps it would be wise for us to join him against Tokhtamysh.
Agreed.
You can see to the west now, we can access Edigu, the man with the plastic face, and to the west, another camp. I think they want us to send them siege towers or something like that. We should have a couple of free units that we can use to visit our allies to find out exactly what they want from us in order to actually engage with us. I'm not going to send a Keshik, I think we can send something a bit less valuable. I'm going to send a Steppe Lancer to the east, go and meet these guys and find out about their demands. Our town centre has gone up, but we're still away off the pop cap. The main thing we need to do is focus on getting wood for a little while, because we need to get the teal player on our side, as we are being attacked as we cross the river, but that's fine.
We can feed your army and supply you with riders. But we need wood to repair our ice fishing camp.
Okay, I think that thing's gonna die, but never mind. Houses are on their way. A little while to go before we can actually start producing again. Perhaps I will drop another house, or another 2 houses right here. As you can see, there is a reasonable amount of starting food, if we need it. There's also a pretty good argument, I think, for settling another town centre to the east. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that just yet. I'm going to send these guys over to the east, just because I'm pretty sure there is a trade workshop or something like that just to the south. And if we take that out, we can get ourselves a bit of extra resource. I think we might as well, just because we do have this free army right now, and there's not too much to be doing with it. So we'll go and launch our first attack on one of the outposts. I think it might be an orange outpost, if I remember correctly. So I thought it was there. Ah, it's right here. Okay. So we're going to take out that tower, and then they will finish off the trade workshop afterwards. We are now just above the pop cap, which is good. Let's drop a couple more houses, and let's actually take these guys and go ahead and look into dropping another town centre on the east. Focus down the tower. So there's a Keshik there we need to kill off. It takes hits really well, to be fair. I'm not sure how long this army is going to survive, so we will just attack that for now, but we need to start seriously thinking about building defences. So let's get these guys and let's drop them on the stone. You guys likewise. I want to put up a castle as soon as possible. Now, although it seems like we should give the 1000 gold to the Bulgars as soon as possible, I think that actually we do need to think about defending ourselves first. So let's get a university so that we can get murder holes, and we're gonna try and save up for a castle as soon as we can. I think there are a couple of mines near here, so hopefully that thing won't attack us. Doesn't look like it will, so that's good. Some stone mines here, which we definitely want to take advantage of. Let's see, where can we drop this? We'll drop it right there, and we'll start producing, and our big priority is just going to be to set up some kind of defensive position, just so that if we do get attacked we don't need to worry too much, and we can kind of work from there. So this is a Boyar. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes to attack, but no, it's just scouting, so that's fine. University's going up, town centres are busy. We can't benefit from gold shaft mining right now, but I will go for Bowsaw. And I will get murder holes, just to get it out of the way. So you can see that our food supply is pretty decent right from the get-go, so we don't need to worry too much about that. We do need to put up a mill in order to build our market. Let's put it on this side just so that we can also reach the deer from it. And let's focus our villages mostly on wood. I'm actually going to send a villager here as well, just to put up a few houses, just to hopefully divert our opponents if they attack. So I should probably do something with these guys, but there's not an awful lot to be doing. I will attempt to send scout cavalry across the map in the hopes of reaching the yellow base. I'm not sure if he will actually survive though. So we can see that the teal player is an ally of the red player as well as us, so can't necessarily expect too much help from them, at least for now. As we've got lots of guys focusing on wood, that's good. Let's put these guys on it too, because we're going to need quite a lot of it. And we can now put up our first castle, so let's do that. Let's put it on the hill. I'm not sure if the Tatar hill bonus affects castles as well. I would have thought that it would. But yeah, I'm going to drop the castle right here, right in the middle. And hopefully that can kind of defend both sides of our base, although this side is perhaps a little bit vulnerable, and perhaps benefit from just a little wall. Let's put up a wall. Keep our town centers busy. Gathering up lots of wood, which is what we want, and we also want a siege workshop in order to get the Golden Horde on side. Let's think about doing that, and also it's going to help us defend when we get attacked, which I think we will. And main things we want to be doing in terms of units to build, I think archery ranges and stables, of course. Tatars really do not have great options in terms of infantry, so it's going to be mostly cavalry archers and probably keshiks, but if not keshiks, then other cavalry units of that ilk. Let's get handcart, and these aren't too expensive. I think we should just go for it. Let's send it in. Those are on their way. Villagers need to start producing a few more buildings, so let's go for an archery range, and I'm actually going to take this villager in particular and think about whether we need to wall this up slightly better. So that is an opening. I'm going to go fill that up. There, she goes around that way, okay. I'm just going to try and block in our villagers altogether because I think we are going to get attacked. We do have lots of enemies on this map, and they won't hesitate to attack us if they get the chance. We can afford to do a little bit more scouting. Let's use a light cav for that.
We want to attack the city of Astrakhan, but we have no siege equipment. Bring 2 siege towers to my camp, and we will join you.
Okay, siege towers are already on their way. Food is actually getting slightly scarce. I didn't really expect that to happen, but we do have plenty of it around, so it shouldn't be a huge issue.
We will join you against Tokhtamysh.
Okay, they've got their siege towers. I'm glad that the devs finally found a use for those things, but I'm not sure if they're actually going to use them on this map, because I don't think the AI would have a clue how to use the siege towers, even if it tried, to be honest. But there we go. Let's get this guy as well, and try and take him all the way to Yellow's base if we can, as we can see another workshop right there. I think we can probably attack that. It should be pretty safe. As wow, okay, that is not the way we want to go. Try and avoid that. These guys are all in the way. Let's take all of these, and no, I think they're fine just to carry on gathering fish for now. And we need to start producing some serious military, so let's go for as many keshiks as we can initially, and let's keep focusing on the food. We do have loads of wood now, which means we can drop our market.
This food will feed many horsemen.
Who gave me that? It wasn't the Bulgars, so don't know where that came from, but that's perfect. We can now build a few more keshiks, which we certainly will. And let's also drop another archery range, or another 2 archery ranges in fact, so that we can produce large numbers of cavalry archers. And long term, in terms of gold, I'm not really sure what we're going to do, but oh, I see, we actually took out that thing. That was a lot quicker than I expected, and surprisingly undefended too. But speaking of undefended, we are now under attack from an absolutely huge force of red Mongols, and we're not ready for that at all, and they're coming in the worst possible way, so this could be pretty bad. They're out of gold. They're coming to attack the town centre, that's fine. As long as they do it bit by bit, that might not be the worst thing on earth. But that thing is fully garrisoned, so we're going to have to try and move our villagers across to here instead. Our big force has come back, and we want to see if we can draw these guys into the castle, if at all possible. If not, we might just have to fight them with our units, because in this case... yeah, they're all pouring in from the other side. That's kind of unfortunate. I think I need to work on my wall a bit, so this doesn't happen again. So hopefully I do have the heal bonus here, and we should win this fight fairly handily. Those Keshiks are taking hits very easily. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put up a blacksmith, and we're going to start producing trash because we have actually run out of gold. There's still lots of gold that we can gather up if we want to, but for now it's not looking too great. See if we can draw them in. Right now there are just too many pikemen and things like that that are just getting easy kills against us. And we definitely do want some blacksmith upgrades as soon as possible, but right now, bigger things to worry about. So we've lost pretty much our entire military, but on the upside, I think things have slowed down slightly over here. I just need to try and lure these Mangudai in towards our castle, which I should be able to do reasonably easily. If not, then skirmishers will actually beat them, but they will do some damage in the meantime. This has happened pretty quickly. I was not necessarily expecting it to happen quite so soon. I'm not sure what's going on with the Golden Horde. They're not really doing a great deal. What I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the Bulgars on our side.
Many thanks, almighty Tamerlane. We will support your army from now on.
Okay, so hopefully that means they've now turned to enemy of the various other players, but we still have a bit of a situation here. So let's send our first skirmisher just to lure this guy in, and let's make sure that we just keep the economy running over on this side. So it looks like they're actually coming for an attack on this side as well. Okay, that's fine. This is exactly why we've got murder holes. Hopefully we will be able to fend them off just using the castle. So we do have a bit of a force inside the castle itself. Let's make sure these guys actually build the houses because we're currently pop capped. And I can see there is still very much issues in terms of holes right there. Okay, so we're going to garrison the town centre. Try and kill these off. Using a few villagers, but it happens. Okay, so we're really relying on the castle here to get things done. It's not looking great. Just huge masses attacking from everywhere. I'm gonna try and bring the Mangudai in towards our castle as well. But there really are just so many of them. So I'm not sure what the hell the Golden Horde's doing. It doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. Because we need to parley with them. Perhaps we need to actually send a unit over to the western side to actually make that happen. Unfortunately, our attempt to do so earlier didn't really work. We do have lots of units here that we can use, so we will try and do that. So I think we will be able to hold them off on this side, but unfortunately we've still got to deal with the Mangudai. I think for that we do just want to keep producing skirmishes, and perhaps we shouldn't try and garrison them in the castle since I guess they are making it. They are mostly making it. So it's maybe not so bad. Let's see if we can actually draw these guys in towards the town centre. It's really not ideal. Alright, put them in there. Hotkey's let me down. He tried to repair, or I think he tried to shoot a boar or something instead of going and garrisoning. Never mind. Okay, so it looks like we've at least held off the initial attack from the green player, and now we just have a small number of red units left to deal with. We're going to attempt to send another unit over to the western yellow base. Might actually be better off going from this angle. I'm going to take a light cav, and I'm going to see if we can get this thing all the way up to the northwest of the map. As we can see, there is a small outpost there, which we're just going to mostly ignore. We can obviously take that out pretty much any time, but right now I think we just need to see if we can actually get the yellow player to do something. So this is looking very dangerous indeed. And I think those green players might be coming to attack us. Okay, lots of green on the move. So that initial attack I think is just going to become wave after wave. But we're going to see if we can get this guy just close as he can go, the yellow player, before he dies. Being chased by faster units. We don't have husbandry, I'm pretty sure. But we're nearly there. Okay, he just took a massive hit. Yeah, he's not going to make it. That's really annoying. I might be able to risk it with a couple of units instead over here, as we are actually being attacked even on this side. Over on this side, the mangonels have arrived apparently, so we're going to have to just give up on this town centre for now, and let's ungarrison all of these. And we're going to send the skirmishers just to take on Mangadai, and hopefully that'll clear some space for a few Keshiks or something like that. And I wouldn't actually mind going for silk armour here, just so we can actually produce a few scout cavalry or light cavalry, because we might end up needing those. Okay, so Mangadai mostly dealt with. They are going to take down our town centre, which is okay as long as it's only a temporary setback. We still need more houses, that's fine, let's work on that. There are just holes all over the place here. First though, I think we should just build some houses. Let's get that out of the way, as this guy is not coming to attack us.
Monument at Astrakhan. This cannot go unchecked.
Okay, that's not good, and it's also not good that these guys are somehow getting involved in fights. We're gonna have to take that down at some point, but so what I might actually do is possibly use all my light cav just to go and deal with that. Not deal with that, I should say. I mean, go and parlay with the Golden Horde. I will do that because I think we need to kick them into action somehow. We're going to need their help. As our villagers are mostly still alive, that's good. Let's send them all back to work. Mangonels, I think, have been killed off. There is some more gold here, so let's go for that. And let's wall all of this off. There's no way across there. So everything from here I think should be walled off. Very expensive in terms of stone, but if we can funnel everyone towards the castle, I think we're actually going to be pretty much okay. Our units have all been killed.
Take what we can spare to help you in your battles.
Okay, so our failed attack from the south. You know what, we should at least take down just a little outpost. I was hoping to make a little bit better use of these things, but we should at least take down Trade Workshop, and we'll bring these up too. There's still no sign of the Golden Horde actually doing something. I do have a lot of units that are somehow still alive and travelling over. Oh, it's my my konniks, which were gifted to me by the Till player. So we are now being attacked by a pretty large force. Hopefully we will win this with help of our scorpions, but still more on their way. Our Keshiks are slowly dying. Even if all of this goes down, let's at least take down the trade workshop so that we get a few extra supplies. So, obviously this should probably be used to attack the monument instead. Okay, these guys, as much as it would be good to continue taking down the trade, let's send them around the side and just see if we can find some kind of safe passage over to the yellow base. And you guys are just going to keep working as much as you can. Let's put a couple on hunting, and we need to actually look back at these as they are being attacked once again by the grey player. I'm going to try and ignore all this as much as we can. I'm going to try and get to that guy. If he doesn't actually start doing something when we get to him this time, then I'm really out of ideas, but we'll see how it goes. We've pretty much made it. So I don't think we're under attack, so that's a good sign at least. I think maybe in that case we will go and finish our wall. Actually, that's
Tamerlane that we ride with him.
not the ideal way of doing things. Okay, so AoE2DE is now on our side. Let's see if he actually makes a move. Not sure if he's actually kicking into action or no, still very defensive over here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything, that's not good. We're gonna need some help because this monument goes up. I'm not sure if it counts as giving this guy a wonder victory, but obviously we need to be able to attack that pretty soon. Let's drag all the Mangadai towards the castle and Our villagers here should be doing something else for sure. There we are, under attack once again. I'm just going to leave it to the castle. Okay, wall looks like it's gone up pretty safely on that side. So let's start gathering up some of this wood. Let's get gold shaft mining, and we've got loads of resources of pretty much all kinds now, so might be time to start seriously thinking about building a proper force. As, in particular, we have loads of gold and loads of food, so definitely want some of these blacksmith upgrades. We start with Bulkanare just so that our castle is that little bit stronger, and we did lose our university. So I think we're going to want to put up another one of those so we can get some defensive upgrades for the castle. Put it right there. And I'm not going to bother building a second town centre in this case, I think we're going to be fine. These things will all go down to the castle. And I think we'll hold back on building archers for now, just because our wood situation isn't great, but we'll keep producing villagers and they should start working on that pretty soon. You guys are all hunting, so carry on. Light cav upgrade is pretty cheap, and we'll also go for the... I think we've already gone for the silk armor upgrade, so we can start building quite a few of those as well if we want to. Still more attackers coming in from the red player, but that's fine. I think we might actually be able to go for an attack on the grey player pretty soon. So this guy has actually made his move, he's gone to attack. Looks like he's attacking the green player. Don't know if he's going to accomplish too much, but he's mostly still alive. As long as he keeps respawning, I think that's probably a good thing. But it doesn't look like they're really doing too much, all things considered. They might take down this trade workshop perhaps, if they're lucky. But unless there are some triggers to help this guy out, or I guess he does have some unit production buildings, and it looks like he has built a couple of rams. Hopefully he'll just keep feeding units in. But meanwhile, I think we need to focus on our own issues, so let's get that iron casting upgrade, let's get masonry, and let's get a siege workshop on the front line. This should be okay, we should have a couple of keshiks we can use for this. Apparently not. Okay, it should still go down, it's taking quite a lot of arrow fire. There we go, keshik. That's more like it. Okay, so keshiks are on their way, let's keep producing. And keshiks on their way. With absolutely loads of gold, still a decent amount of food as well. A few balls around if we need them. And I think mostly we do just need siege, so we'll put the siege workshop up and garrison the castle once again, just so we can deal with this small force.
Take what we can spare to help you with your battles.
Okay. We've got plenty of food still, plenty of gold, so yeah, we'll keep producing the keshiks and those last few upgrades. Ballistics is tempting. Yeah, we'll go with ballistics, and let's also put up a new lumber camp. Queue up that final upgrade, as the attacks just never seem to end. At some point I need to just be able to rely on my castle to deal with these, because this is preventing me from attacking right now. Alright, let's send these guys to put up a... I'm actually going to put up a siege workshop in the back of the base, just so that we don't have to worry too much about getting attacked constantly. And these guys are going to start producing. They do seem to be coming at us with a lot of cavalry, so it's tempting to go for camel riders. But the gold is, in theory, quite finite, so I think instead we should just... let's go for step lancers. Keep the keshiks coming. And we can afford, I think, a full number of cavalry archers, so let's start going for that as well. Get thumb ring. And let's get fortified wall because it's nice and cheap. And I think we mostly just want battering rams. Okay, this guy is going to build the next siege workshop. Battering rams are still on their way. We're going to produce more villagers. dedicate them all to wood. We're also going to take our konniks here, and we're going to attack this trade workshop, see if we can get a few more supplies, as we have also got a few here, which I think Red has officially stopped trading with, or perhaps not. Looks like Red is still trading with him. Another green attack is coming in. Lots of pikemen, so we don't want to involve our keshiks at all. We're just going to take lots of losses there for no reason. Pull everyone back towards the castle once again, and just wait for this to fall of its own accord. We can now see a lot more of the orange base, but I think we should definitely go and take that on.
This food will feed many horsemen.
As yeah, we've got so many supplies at this point that hit the pop cap, and a lot of our gold miners have in fact run out of space to do their work. Put up those last few houses, and I think we should also look into gathering up that stone so we can put up another castle if we need it. Let's get Tremel Crane and keep the rams coming. So we do have a pretty decent force here. I think we can potentially look into going to attack. This villager definitely shouldn't go. Send him over here for now so that he can put up potentially a bit of a forward base. As yellow player does seem to be helping us out a little bit, but he's not got too much, to be honest. Let the castle finish these off, and let's keep producing keshiks as before. We're nearly at the pop cap now, or at least we have the pop space that we need. Pretty much all the upgrades we could want. A few battering rams here that we can send over. There, looks like we have taken this thing out, so that's good. Possibly can move on to something else. Let's go ahead and attack this tower and these forces. The rams are actually having a hard time getting out, so possibly I've walled this off slightly better than I actually meant to. Okay, I can always put up a gate, of course, so we'll do that. Now these forces are being attacked by lots of keshiks, but we do have a decent number here. We should outnumber them pretty handily. And we have so much gold that I think we can go for knights. Let's do that. First battering ram is on its way. I think we are just going to go straight towards the Wonder. I assume these guys are all dying. Yep, that's fine. Tower's going to go down, they've done something. I didn't think they'd make it across to our main force alive, so I think that's fine. Take that loss. These guys are going to drop stable and an archery range right here, and we're going to keep producing lots of battering rams. I'm not sure where these have gone. So we've got a few extra battering rams on our way, and keshiks are still being produced. Let's send over the rest of our forces from the castle.
Take what we can spare to help you with your battles.
But yeah, I think they're just going to provide us food, so it's up to us to gather the rest of our resources. That's fine, there's plenty of gold and stone lying around, so I don't think that would be a big issue. We should be able to put up another castle pretty soon. I don't know if we actually need to for the sake of taking down the orange player. I think we've got this reasonably well handled. First few rounds are going to go in, and we can see quite a few Mangadai are going to try and kite us. It's pretty annoying. I don't think we can really do much about that. They are just going to run away from us. don't think it's worth chasing them down, especially not with Keshiks. Let's just send our forces over to protect the rams and make sure that we actually successfully take down these towers. There are still quite a few forces. Okay, so let's take out the swordsmen first and foremost, as even though the Mangudai are a bit of an irritant, I think they're not actually going to kill our forces, so we can afford to throw everything in. As we managed to catch out a couple of mangonels there, hopefully. Perhaps not. No, we did manage to kill them, so that's great. Let's go and take down the gate and keep these rams coming. Let's start building light cav as well, just because we're pretty low on gold at this point. There is still quite a lot of gold lying around the map, but we have to actually take a few risks with our villagers in order to get all that stuff. Let's start taking down this gate. I think this castle doesn't appear to have murder holes, so that's good to know. But we don't have too many rams left. Stay defensive. And let's actually take some of these idle villages, which we do have loads. And we're going to start moving them onto gold. Should be pretty safe actually just to drop a mining camp right here, right next to the yellow base. And I don't think the yellow base is going to get attacked too badly. This is going to be an issue. Let's take this thing down before it destroys our rams. Okay, first mangonel is going to go down. Second one, we're going to focus it down. You guys are going to try and take down the gates, and let's just keep the rest of our forces coming. So pretty low on resources now. But I think the gate will finally go down in a second. Okay, gate's gone down. Let's send the rams in just to absorb some of the arrow fire. And hopefully the rest of our units will be able to get something done from behind, as it's building quite a few mangonels, unfortunately. We have a few more units up here that we can use if we need to. And lots of light cav, which I'm not sure are going to get the job done, but right now it's all we have. And we're in pretty desperate need of food, though the map has eventually caught up to us. But we do have lots of resources for building cavalry archers, if nothing else. And there should still be some boars and things that we can go for. Boar there, and that might be it actually. And there's actually quite a lot of stone here that's kind of pretty well hidden, but we can of course gather that up in order to put up another castle. And to be honest, getting attacked enough, and there is enough stone lying around, that I think we should actually just drop a castle. Although, looks like we might be nearing the point where we've got enough momentum going. Let's go and attack this castle. Just make sure we fill this place with our forces. Red player is really annoying just because he's helping out the orange player when I think we would otherwise be taking him out, but that's fine. Wonder's finally been destroyed, so we don't have to worry about that. Quite a few red units coming in, but we will win the fight. Rams are pretty safe, I think, to take down the castle, and there's a second castle to the west. That's fine, we're going to try and avoid that. We're going to try and stay nicely in the middle of the base, as that mangonel managed to sneak up on me there, but we'll take that thing out as it does loads of damage to us, but that's fine, it happens. Still no sign of any food, so we're definitely going to need to actually proactively go and gather some of that stuff up. So there is actually quite a bit of it around here, so let's put up a mill. We do still need gold though. Okay, first castle's gone down, second castle we can now target. Once it started firing on our rams, I think we should be pretty safe to send the rest of our units in. Still got quite a few cavalry archers on their way, and a bit of extra food right when we need it. I will build a few skirmishes just because that's the number one thing we can afford right now. The rams are on their way to attack. If I can find a siege workshop, that would be ideal. Ah, it's right there. Okay, so let's keep our units around here. Unfortunately, because they do have, or they don't have murder holes, I can't actually send the rest of my units to protect the rams, or they'll just get killed. But it looks like the rams are going to be able to take down the castle on their own, so that's great. Hopefully that'll actually take the orange player out of the game. Perhaps not. Okay, that's fine. Take down the siege workshop because that's been causing us lots of problems, and possible that we just need to destroy him the same way we would destroy a usual Age of Empires 2 player, so take out his buildings that can actually produce units and things like that. So we'll work on that, and let's actually send over a few more rams because we're running pretty low now. Pretty low on gold as well. I think it will actually produce a few more villages. Got 11 idle villages somewhere, so it's mostly these guys. Let's move them. I think we're doing okay for wood right now, so let's actually see where else we can gather up supplies, as this looks like a pretty great location. Seems pretty safe too, because lots of our units are passing through the area without too much trouble. So I think we've pretty much taken this guy out. There's still a stable to deal with. And lots of towers. But that should be pretty much fine. I'm going to send these guys to destroy the docks, because that is of course a unit production building. There's a surprisingly large amount of docks and water here. I don't think they're actually producing ships, but we need to take all that stuff out. And there's also a barracks to potentially worry about, but first the Reds have come for another attack, so let's take them out. Yeah, it destroyed some of our rams, but that's fine. We've got some more coming in. We've got a mangonel as well. So I am assuming that the orange player is one of the two cities we need to destroy, which would make the red player the next obvious target. Meanwhile, in the north we do have a few konniks available to us, so let's bring them to the south. And in the west of the map, it looks like, yeah, the yellow player has pretty much completely succumbed now to the green player, although he's sending a last-ditch battering ram out to do some work. I have noticed actually this storehouse right here is still standing, so let's go and attack that, get ourselves a few extra resources, and let's also produce a few skirmishes. I think we can afford quite a few of those, and I think we're mostly surrounded by pretty difficult units here, so we're going to pull back a bit. And I'm not really sure what we can do about this ram. I think we're going to have to attack it with our mangonels. And we're going to send our battering rams over to attack the gate. As I'm hoping that we've pretty much completely dealt with the orange player now. And we can now afford a few more Heshiks. Let's produce a few of those, and let's send them into the middle of the space, as unfortunately it looks like we're about to lose what few soldiers we do have left. I'm going to send these to, again, attack the gate, and hopefully the konniks will deal with the bulk of Red's units here, but looks like we do need to produce a few more units in general, so let's go and produce a few extra knights, and I think we can still afford to produce quite a few skirmishes, so let's keep those coming. Food situation is looking slightly better, but that's mainly just because of the tribute, so let's go for the boar. and I think we have pretty much got all the upgrades we can at this point. There is an extra ram here that I can afford to send along. Unfortunately, our konniks are kind of going on a bit of a wild goose chase, and it's kind of hard to keep everything alive at the moment. There is this one ram here which has managed to do a little bit of damage to us, as I think we're going to need to build up our forces a little bit more, and potentially could actually build a castle. I think we're going to need a castle to actually crack the red player, but it's going to be pretty difficult. We might need to defend ourselves pretty carefully when we go for this. We're going to definitely need a few more units in general, as I think this location here seems like it would be workable. We are going to need to send quite a few units to defend our villagers who are going to go for this, and I'm wondering if we have a few extra villagers that we can also send, because 3 might not be enough. If they come at us with rams, that could be slightly difficult to deal with. I'm going to set all my spawn points to here for now, as we do have a decent force. Keshiks are doing pretty well too, so let's keep producing those. Castle's slowly going up, that's a good sign. It doesn't look like we're being too badly attacked, although having said that, they are now coming with their big force. I'm going to save the villagers if I can, and hopefully these various cavalry units will be able to fend off most of these forces. As I think against this guy in particular, camels would definitely do pretty well, so let's go ahead and recruit a few extra camels. That's the wrong thing I produced there, but camels are not too expensive in terms of food. They are pretty expensive, but not as terrible as certain other things would be. We are kind of struggling to fight these off. Small number of yellow units actually on their way, so yellow's still alive in the east at least, but I think we do need to produce a few more rams now, because most of our units have been pretty much killed off in the last few minutes, as these guys are unfortunately falling into a bit of a trap. Let's send these villagers back to finish off the castle. I think it is going to go up pretty soon, and at that point we just need maybe an extra siege workshop to send in a few rams, but we should be able to fend off most of the actual units, as yellow is coming to help us out, which is great. Castle is about to go up. I don't think they're going to be able to stop it at this point, and we're still pretty low on food. Doing pretty well for wood at least, so let's actually potentially send a few of these to do something else, as actually these aren't even being at all efficient. There are absolutely no lumber camps around here. We'll send them to work on the deer. It's probably not going to be a great idea, because there's not going to be too much left by the time we get there, but there's really not too much food in general on this map, as this ram is kind of annoying. Let's see if we have our mangonels left, which I don't think we do. So no mangonels left, so it is just down to our keshiks to defend from the rams. Let's put them in defensive stance and bring them towards the castle. Villagers I'm just going to garrison for now, and let's keep producing a few of our own rams, as I think actually it should be pretty safe just to go for the actual castle now. We have quite a few camels here that we can use. Let's put them in defensive stance, and let's recruit a few extra skirmishers and follow it up with as many rams as we can. And obviously afford quite a few unit production buildings, so let's go for another siege workshop right here. And we are being attacked by a few longswordsmen over there, so I think we're actually going to need to send a few extra military units to go and fend those off. Possibly the konniks could do it, so send in a few konniks, and I think we should actually focus specifically on the barracks now. So let's produce a few extra battering rams there, and we have managed to spend quite a bit of our wood, as this guy is just producing insane numbers of units. We're gonna have to stay on defensive stance and just hope that we can fend all that off while our rams go to attack him while he's pretty distracted. So hopefully now that he's attacking the rams, we can afford to send a couple of units just to fight off the units that are gonna attack our rams. Still a few yellow units coming in, which is going to be pretty handy. We are being attacked by light cav, which is going to be much more awkward to deal with, but got some backup coming in. And we're officially out of gold. As suspected, these guys have pretty rapidly run out of food, so I'm going to put some of them onto fish, and you guys are all done with gold there. There is some more gold up here, I think. Nope, that's all done too. Okay, so let's just go for stone instead. And there is definitely more gold around, we just need to find it. Relocate. So there's some right there. Let's go and drop a mining camp right there. And let's keep sending our rams over here. Getting slightly overwhelmed, but I think that's okay. Potentially we do need to produce a few more villages just to actually solidify this push, because right now it's proving to be a little bit too expensive. Extra cavalry archer here, we'll send that along, as I think we are about to take down the final barracks of the orange player, so let's just go and specifically focus that down. And should one of our units die, this guy will wake up and go and attack the unit himself, so don't actually need to redirect them. Not that it matters or anything. I think we are going to take the castle down, which is great. We are taking some losses on the way, as I'm actually going to ungarrison the villages here just to attack the ram, which is very much not ideal, but it's what we have to do.
This city will regret having ever opposed.
Okay, so it was the barracks keeping them in, so we don't need to worry about the docks or anything like that. And now we just need to really focus down the red player. And I'm hoping that having taken down the first castle, we will deal with at least a few less Mangadai now, if nothing else. And we're still struggling for gold, but our new camp has gone up. Got an extra ram here that we can send. And 12 idle villages, not sure where those are, some are here. We'll send them over to mine as well, and let's get this guy to build... Potentially another castle could work.
It's better to help you with your battles.
So we're starting to run low on things now, but we can afford to build mostly just trash. So, is that going to be worth it? I think we're going to have to do it. Build lots of that stuff, and the rest of our resources we're going to spend on skirmishes, as we've pretty much lost momentum now. That's not great. It's going to be pretty hard to defend this castle as it goes up. Make sure we focus this guy on the ram. It's okay if our villagers die, we will be able to produce a few more of them if we need them. In fact, I'm going to produce some extra villagers right now. And this guy's going to focus down the ram, as this is proving to be pretty difficult to pull off. It's not really enough resources to go around. I've got these guys at least, so let's send them down as well to defend against the ram. And we can actually put up another castle now if we want to, in theory. Castle's slowly dealing with their units, and there is a little bit more stone in here if we need it, so nothing else, we can just put down loads of castles, but we're going to need a few more villages to actually pull that off. As green is actually, I think, going for raids, but starting to gain a little bit of momentum again now. Let's go and attack the gate, and we're going to need a few extra villages here to actually make this happen. Let's send these to finish that off, and we're going to produce a few extra keshiks. Just try and hang on to the few resources we do have. I've got an extra konnik here that we can send as well. Just pull all of these back towards the castles, let the castles handle the units. I'm assuming this guy doesn't just have unlimited resources, he does seem to be able to do an awful lot. But we've pretty much destroyed his trade. Second castle's going to go up, and I will work on a third. But pretty much running low on every resource, so I'm actually going to produce a few extra villages. I'm going to send them to work on this wood right here, and I'm going to get this guy, in fact these three guys who are all idle, to put up a lumber camp. So the only thing we're doing really well with right now is probably stone, so let's actually just go ahead and drop yet another castle, even further up. And this, in theory, should actually be in range of his own castle, so if nothing else, we should be able to slowly take that down through an extremely slow war of attrition. Skirmish is doing pretty well. We've got 11 idle villagers. I think we will actually put these guys on food. These guys are all pretty much done with their fish. Extra Keshik here we can send. But we can afford a few more Keshiks in general, so let's keep building those. And a couple more rams if we can, but we're pretty low on wood, so can't do that right now. I'm gonna pull these back because they're getting pretty heavily attacked at the moment, and got one konnik here and one Keshik. Just keep them in defensive stance, nice and close to the castle. Just make sure that we handle the rams when they do show up, as this guy seems to have... He must have a third castle somewhere, because there are just way too many coming in. Unless they're like related to a trigger or something, I'm not really sure. There is a trade workshop up there that I can go and attack. Bring a few extra supplies if I need to. That might actually be a good idea, because things like this are relatively isolated. So if I just focus that down, it should actually pay for itself pretty quickly. These guys are going to defend. Still low on wood. Keep producing villagers. It's getting harder and harder to defend this, but still getting some help from the yellow player, and have got a few Keshiks here who are going to earn us a little bit of extra gold. I think the villagers might have all been killed. I can actually send a few more if I need to, but I think these guys are going to be better off actually gathering resources, so let's actually put them on wood. Green's coming for a big attack on the yellow player. I'm hoping the yellow can fend that off. Stone miner here is going to go and work on the wood. Still being attacked by orange, that's just a lone tower, so nothing to worry about there. Not too many rams coming in. I am actually pretty tempted to focus down the siege workshop here. I don't think this guy's actually producing buildings. Similar to the Pachacuti campaign. Once you take down a building, it's pretty much gone. Let's just have the one castle left. We are attacking his.
Take what we can spare to help you with your battles.
A few more konniks on the way. Could just be the 5, so we'll bring them down straight away. We are starting to take down... Managed to save that guy just in time. Managed to reach the trade workshop or whatever it's called. Should get us a few extra supplies. So I'll send these guys to deal with the ram. This ram's going to focus down the siege workshop, although he must have a second one. Yeah, he's got a second siege workshop towards the back of the base, so that explains where a lot of the rams are coming from. Let's pull all these back, and... yeah, these guys are just going to attack the gate. There may be a few other things that we can potentially attack for supplies. I think over in this kind of northern area there is a trade workshop right there. Potentially this market too. But we should just be able to win through a normal push, I think. Konniks have arrived just in time. Let's send the rams to attack the castle specifically. And we're going to set that as our spawn point. Just throw everything at it. Send the villager back to work. Okay, we've got 30 light cav on the way. I'm hoping those are gonna at least fend off some of these units. Let's keep using the Keshiks to defend the rams. Castle's gonna go down. Still lots of Mangadai coming in from the west. I'm not exactly sure how that's happening. You can see the blue's got a castle. Okay, red castle's gone down. So there's actually a storehouse, or in fact it's just a university, so probably won't actually get anything great from destroying that, but we will go and focus it down. I can afford a few extra keshiks, I think. And we're still in pretty desperate need of food. But lots of light cav on the way. Okay, I think I'm gonna go and focus down stable. And let's have our light cav focus down the battering rams. These guys are all getting distracted, but we're just gonna send them to attack the red base. No idle villagers apparently. Okay. 46 villagers, none of them are idle, that's probably a good sign. Let's send some more. Onto the food by default, but of course we should actually be getting as much food as we can. As I think we are slowly pushing this. Every extra building that goes down is just a little bit less production for him. Okay, these guys are still getting gold. Ram's not really doing too much, to be honest. We are going to take down that tower. And then in the back there's a stable, siege workshop, another stable. Ah, there is another castle. Okay, so I didn't actually spot that, but that's obviously quite a big deal. I'm going to produce a few extra villagers, and I'm going to send them specifically to work on this stone. And we should have a little bit of food on the way. Let's try and keep our rams safe. I think there's a pathfinding problem here, because these guys seem to be taking an extremely long time to come around the side here. So we're being attacked over here in the southeast. Villagers getting killed by the green player. I'm hoping that yellow's going to fend this off, because I don't really want to send my villagers to deal with that.
Take what we can spare to help you with your battles.
What the hell? The merchants are actually building bombard cannons. Okay, let's go and deal with those. Nope. Okay, got completely taken out there. Alright, we have got some more units on the way. Villagers coming in to get some more of this stone. We can at least produce a large number of skirmishers, if nothing else. And we've got a few extra konniks. Trams coming in to take down the stable. And still lots of Mangadai coming in. Not too worried about them. Should be able to deal with them completely fine with the skirmishers, but gonna have a harder time with light cav. And of course their own battering rams are going to be a little bit of an issue. Castle seems to have disappeared from view for a minute there, but I think we got it back. Okay, so quite a few yellow units coming in now, which is going to help. I think we mostly just need rams. We have pretty much won the ground war, I think. Definitely got a bigger force than he has. A few konniks still alive. Have on their way, and doing fine for wood once again. Let's try and focus these guys on food. And we can put up a last castle if we want to. I was hoping it wouldn't be necessary, but just to help push, because the resource situation is not too great. Let's go ahead and do it. We're being attacked by bombard cannons still, but that's okay. Slowly taking down his base. Just about everywhere. And I'm actually going to send most of these guys to help out with the castle as well. Bombard cannon could be a little bit annoying, but I think we should be able to take it down by focusing on it. Even if it does result in a few extra losses, that's okay. We've got a few extra rams on the way. See if we can get a few more resources. So there is a pretty vulnerable looking trade workshop right there that we could go and attack. Got a few extra military units here we can bring down. Green's making some kind of push, but that's fine. I think we can pretty much ignore that. Not really going to accomplish too much. Castle's gone up, and he's going to come at us with a few rams, but that's fine. Can't afford keshiks, but we do still have a few resources that we can spend on light cav. And I'm seriously considering petards as well, so these are 20 gold each. That's not too bad. I don't think we're actually getting gold income from anywhere now. There should be some available if we scan the map. I'm sure there is. Yeah, there's some right there, so let's go ahead and go for that. Ram's on the way to take out a tower, and a few units here who are going to do a pretty good job of focusing down the ram. Still Mangadai coming in, but that's fine. Use the skirmisher for those. And we do have a marketplace, so we can sell some of this wood. We haven't actually done that yet, so hopefully, yeah, I can actually make quite a lot of easy gold from that. And hopefully that'll give us exactly what we need to make the final push. So let's focus all of our rams on the castle. And let's have a few extra skirmishes just because they're so easy to afford. To be honest, there would have been a definite argument for going for pikemen, but because the Tatars don't get access to halberdiers, I was kind of put off that, which of course makes no sense because we're stuck in the Castle Age, but it's a bit late to worry about that now. Castle's going to go down. Looks like we're taking down Siege Workshop 2, so that's pretty handy because Siege Workshop has all kinds of problems with the various rams coming in. Castle's on its way down. I think we can afford a few extra keshiks. We're being attacked all the way on the west of the base, which is probably a good sign, and we're going to focus down the storehouse. A few extra konniks on the way, and that should pretty much be it. I don't think this guy can really do anything to stop us now. Last archery range, last stable, and I think once that stable to the west goes down, that's going to be the red player out. Oh wow, okay. So this had completely disappeared from view, so all my villagers who went to build this mining camp obviously got completely destroyed. I'm not sure why the game keeps doing that. These things just seem to completely vanish sometimes. That's fine. So we've lost some villagers, we're pretty much going to have no income now, but what we do have left should be enough, I think, to make the final push. And in fact, I will send a couple of petards, because why the hell not? I'm going to go back to the market. Get enough in the bank for a few extra petards, and let's just throw them straight at the stable. Okay, stable's gone down. I'm not sure what this guy has left.
While my men build towers from the skulls of the slain. Ah! With his empire in place, Tokhtamysh will have no choice but to flee like a craven to Lithuania.
Okay, we got there eventually. Let's go to the cutscene.
Raging fires, torrents of blood, piles of ash, the clash of iron, and the screams of the dying. This were the horrors that Tamerlane visited upon the cities and people of the Golden Horde. The cities of Ryazan, Sarai, Astrakhan, Azov, and Ukek were reduced to rubble. All that remained, aside from the ruins, were the towers of bones that were built from the corpses of the dead. Those who survived were driven like sheep to march in unspeakable cold. Tokhtamysh had no choice but to flee west to Lithuania. Tamerlane was determined not to let the traitor escape, but word soon reached him of a rebellion within his homeland. Leaving the hunt in the hands of two of his generals, Tamerlane swiftly returned home to restore order, at the point of a blade.
So it looks like the next scenario is not going to be based in Lithuania after all, but possibly the one after that will. Anyway, here are the stats, and obviously managed to do pretty well, apparently, on economy, but didn't feel like it at certain points in that particular mission. But yeah, that is it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.